What's going on, everyone? It's Jay here. I hope you're all having a happy Tuesday so far, and let's get into another day trading recap. So, as you guys can see just from looking at my chart right here, today was a nice and bullish day for the Nasdaq today. It was a step in the right direction for it to try and recover, and it was just a nice and uptrending day today. As you guys can see, today it was really the SMA line was really doing a great job of acting as a support, right? The Nasdaq consistently was trying to confirm it as a support. Anytime it neared it, it would bounce off of it and keep going high for higher highs and higher lows, right? That's what leads you to have this uptrend pattern. And I kind of want to just walk through you guys how I did today, and on top of that, why a play like this, you could have seen something like this coming, and at what point the direction becomes really clear, right? Because when the market opened up right around here at 6:30, it was a bit choppy, right? No one can say otherwise. It was consistently going up, down, flushing up and down, trying to change direction. So I kind of want to walk through you guys how something like this, you could have seen it coming to know it was a TQQQ. So if you guys look at the 5-day 5-minute, let me just start off by saying if you're day trading, I recommend, or the charts at least I recommend you use are the 1-day 1-minute, as you guys can see right here. And I use the 5-day 5-minute, 5-day 15. But if you were to have, let's say, two charts that you're gonna stick to that I'd say are the most relevant to use, it's the 1-day 1-minute and 5-day 5-minute. And why are these the most relevant? Because if you're day trading, you don't want to focus on any of the really big time frames like 20 years, 3 years. Like you can look at it, but you don't really have to, because if we're day trading, patterns like that are so long term, right? The movements are very kind of low. The movements are a lot just less noticeable, right? Because it's trading like in 20 years, you're not going to see gradual movements or anything like that. So it's hard to get a good idea of where the market's really headed, let's say for the day or for the week, right? And if you're day trading, you're going to want to know that type of stuff to know what to capitalize on, right? Because if you're day trading, you're trying to buy in and out within the same day. So what's the use of looking at long-term patterns? That's kind of my thought process behind it. And so basically, if you look at the 5-day 5-minute, this was yesterday, right? When there was all this chop, and then it ended up selling off aggressively because I told you guys, if you looked at the 10-day 30-minute, there was a potential resistance that it did validate yesterday that it has before in the past, right around here, right? Previously, it approached this area, didn't break it, sold off. This was yesterday, it approached it, hit the same general area, and sold off. So today, for the 5-day 5-minute, let me get rid of that line quick. So this was yesterday after it sold off, and today leading into market open right around here at 6:30 in the morning. As you guys can see, it did have a big sell-off yesterday, but just like the previous patterns, previous times it's been doing, anytime it approached the bottom VWAP, it would ultimately act as a support and end up shooting up, right? It would cross the middle VWAP and end up approaching the top VWAP for higher highs and higher lows. So it basically did that, ends up pushing up a bit more, ends up coming back down after approach top VWAP, became overbought a little, came back down, hit the bottom VWAP, but it was still making higher lows, right? It hit the bottom VWAP and then ended up pushing up, same type of pattern. And yesterday after the sell-off, it was kind of basically the same exact pattern you could have seen coming. It ended up approaching the bottom VWAP like it has, and I would still consider this being higher lows, right? Because we haven't crossed this general area yet, or this one even. As you guys can see, it did have a big sell-off, but it hit bottom VWAP and just did the same type of pattern it's been following. And ultimately, it did end up start pushing up on the day, right? And I would say right around here, the 5-day 15, and especially the 10-day 30-minute, where I was showing you this previous resistance. Once it broke this area, it would have been a really good indication that it was going to start uptrending. Even this margin is pretty sizable to if you're able to capitalize on it. And just by seeing that there was a break of resistance right around here, it was very likely that it was going to start heading up, and you could have invested in TQQQs and averaged up, right? You could have been very comfortable knowing that direction was in your favor. So basically, just it's very important to pay attention to different time frames. They can kind of give you an indication of where direction is headed for like a better, more general picture. Because yesterday, If you saw a heavy sell off, you could have thought that it was just bound to keep selling off today and kind of follow that big streak, but it's basically just a pattern it has been following before, right? Sell off the bottom, view up, and then end up ultimately pushing higher. And just like that, it came to bottom VWAP and ultimately pushed higher than it did right around here. So if you look at the Nasdaq on the 180 day, it's not looking too bad right now, right? It finally got held above the SMA line, and on top of that, it formed kind of this higher low right around this general area, right? And if we can see it maybe come back down and start to really keep pushing up and the SMA line start curling up, that could be a great indication that the Nasdaq is going to start pushing up, and me and my brother are going to really try and load up on Tesla kind of aggressively. We really want to make a nice profit off of it by the time the Nasdaq recovers, and it's just going to be very exciting for for being patient this whole time. It could have been very easy to try and buy a dip anytime here like the past half a year, but hopefully everyone's patience will pay off. And yeah, just very excited to check up on that. And just to end the video on a quick recap of my day, I was up on the day just under $50, up $68 on TQs and down 19 on SQs. Very blessed to end the day on a green note as well, just like yesterday. And not the biggest green day again. I'm very bummed out I couldn't take part in this big rally right here because I did have work again. I know it's been sounding like an excuse, but work has been getting in the way. Some days I go in the mornings on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So tomorrow I'll be able to trade as long as I want, and hopefully I'll be able to capitalize staying longer. And yeah, that's just it. I was up like $48 and change. Very blessed, and I hope you guys learned a lot from the patterns I was showing you, the charts, and how you can get a better idea of them just by looking at a few other time frames. Nothing too big, and it can definitely help clear up a lot. So thank you guys all so much for watching. It's been a day trading recap, and I hope you all can subscribe to our YouTube account if you've enjoyed the videos you've been watching. And yeah, make sure to leave any comments down below or questions. We'd love to answer them. Alright guys, take it easy, and I'll see you all tomorrow.